Most diesel engines don't die early because they're badly made. They fail because owners skip a few simple checks that take less than half an hour every month. A well-maintained diesel can easily last over 1,000,000 miles. But ignore those small monthly tasks and you could be looking at costly repairs or total engine failure before hitting even 200,000 miles. In this guide, you'll learn the exact monthly maintenance routine that keeps diesel engines running strong for decades. Stay with me till the end because the last check I'll show you prevents about 80% of cooling system failures, which are one of the top reasons diesel engines break down early. Let's get started with check number 1. Check number 1. Inspect and refill all fluid leveled. It sounds simple, but fluids are the lifeblood of your diesel. Keeping them clean and at the right levels is the foundation for a long-lasting engine. Low, dirty, or mixed-up fluids are responsible for more diesel failures than anything else. Start with your engine oil. Make sure the engine is cold and the truck is parked on flat ground. Pull out the dipstick, wipe it clean, push it back in, and pull it out again. The oil should sit between the minimum and maximum marks. While you're at it, look at the oil's condition. Fresh diesel oil is amber-colored and a little see-through. If it's turned dark black and looks thick, it's time for a change. If the oil looks milky or cloudy, that's a serious sign. It usually means coolant is leaking into the oil and you need to fix that immediately. Next up, check your coolant level. Look at the overflow reservoir. Never open the radiator cap while the engine is hot. Hot coolant is under pressure and can spray out, causing serious burns. If the coolant level keeps dropping, you've got a leak somewhere that needs repair. Now, take a look at the coolant color. It should match what your engine requires, usually orange or red for modern diesel trucks. Finally, inspect your brake fluid. Pop open the master cylinder reservoir. The fluid should be close to the max mark. It should also be clear to light amber. If it's dark, murky, or smells burnt, it's time to replace it because old brake fluid weakens your stopping power. These basic fluid checks alone prevent countless breakdowns and extend your diesel's life by thousands of miles. Next up is check number 2. Inspect your belts and hoses. Most diesel owners don't realize that a single worn belt or cracked hose can cause major damage or even leave you stranded on the side of the road. A broken serpentine belt or a burst coolant hose can cause overheating within minutes, and that can destroy your engine fast. Start with your serpentine belt. Look closely at its surface. If you see cracks, missing ribs, fraying, or shiny glazed spots, that's a red flag. A glazed belt looks smooth and glossy instead of having the normal textured look. Then check the tension. Press down on the longest stretch of the belt. It should only move about half an inch with firm pressure. If it moves more, it's loose. A loose belt can slip and stop powering vital components like your alternator or water pump. Now move on to your coolant hoses. Gently squeeze them. They should feel firm but flexible. If they're hard, brittle, soft, or squishy, it's time to replace them. Take a close look at the hose connections too. If you see dried coolant residue, wet spots, or stains, that means there's a leak forming. Don't ignore it because a small leak today can turn into a major cooling failure tomorrow. Every month, just a few minutes spent checking your belts and hoses can save you thousands in repair bills and keep your diesel running smoothly. Now, once you're sure your belts and hoses are in great shape, it's time to make sure your engine can breathe properly. Now we move to check number 3. Clean or replace your air filter. Your diesel engine breathes air the same way your body needs oxygen. Without clean air, it can't perform well. A dirty or clogged air filter chokes the engine, causing poor fuel economy, loss of power, and even damage to internal parts. Here's what to do. Remove your air filter and inspect it under good light. Hold it up to a light source. If you can't see light passing through the filter material, it's too dirty. That means it's time for a replacement. While it's out, look for tears, holes or cracks in the filter, or its rubber seal. Any damage allows dirt and dust to sneak into the engine, and that's a disaster waiting to happen. Before putting in a new filter, take a moment to wipe out the airbox housing using a clean, dry cloth. Dust often builds up inside, so cleaning it helps the new filter work better. Also check the intake tubing for cracks or loose clamps that could let in unfiltered air. This step is especially critical for turbocharged diesels. The turbocharger spins at incredibly high speeds, often over 100,000 RPM, and even the tiniest dirt particle can scratch the compressor wheel or damage its housing. That kind of damage leads to turbo failure, which can easily cost several $1,000s to fix. So remember, keeping your air filter clean isn't just about power and performance. it's about protecting one of the most expensive parts of your diesel engine. Once your engine can breathe clean air, the next step is making sure it has the power to start strong every single time. Let's move on to check number 4. Inspect your battery and electrical connections. Diesel engines need a lot more power to start than gasoline engines. That means your battery has to be in top shape at all times. A weak battery or loose connection can leave you stranded, especially on cold mornings, when diesel engines are harder to crank. Start with a visual inspection. Look closely at the battery terminals. If you see any white or blue-green crusty buildup, that's corrosion, and it restricts the electrical flow. Clean it off with a wire brush and a baking soda water mix to neutralize the acid. Make sure the terminals are tight and secure after cleaning. Next, test your battery voltage using a multimeter. With the engine off, a healthy battery should read 12.6 volts or higher. When the engine is running, it should read between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. That shows your alternator is charging correctly. If you're unsure about testing, most auto parts stores in the US will check your battery and charging system for free. Take advantage of that. It's a quick way to catch problems before they leave you stuck. Also, if your vehicle has 2 batteries common in larger diesel trucks, make sure both are balanced in charging condition. A weak one will drag the other down. Keeping your battery clean and fully charged helps your starter motor spin faster, your glow plugs heat properly, and your diesel fire up quickly, even on freezing mornings. Once you've handled your battery, it's time to move on to a maintenance step that most diesel owners forget, but it's absolutely essential for fuel system health. Now it's time for check number 5. Drain your fuel water separator. This step is one of the most ignored parts of diesel maintenance, yet it's also one of the most important. Diesel fuel naturally attracts moisture, and that water can sneak into your system over time. When water mixes with diesel, it causes corrosion, bacterial growth, and injector damage, all of which can destroy your expensive fuel system. Here's how to handle it. Find your fuel water separator. It's usually mounted near the fuel tank or along the frame rail. Most separators have a clear bowl that lets you see what's inside. Water will appear as a separate layer beneath the fuel. Place a small container under the separator and open the drain valve slowly. Let the water drain out until you see clean diesel coming through. Then close the valve securely. If your vehicle has a water and fuel warning light, don't ignore it. That's your cue to drain the separator immediately before water reaches your injectors. Doing this once a month prevents major issues like rusted injectors, clogged filters, and fuel pump damage. Repairs that can easily cost thousands of dollars. With your fuel system clean and dry, let's move to another area that directly affects performance, safety, and fuel economy: your tires. Next is check number 6. Inspect your tires and check the air pressure. Most people don't realize how much tires affect fuel economy, handling, safety, and ride comfort. For diesel vehicles, especially heavy trucks, proper tire care is even more critical because of the extra weight and towing demands. Start by checking your tire pressure when the tires are cold, meaning the vehicle hasn't been driven for at least an hour. Find the correct pressure on the sticker inside your driver's door frame, not on the tire sidewall. Many diesel trucks need higher pressures, often between 50 and 80 psi depending on the load. Use a reliable tire gauge to check all 4 tires, and don't forget the spare. Low tire pressure causes poor fuel economy, uneven wear, and overheating, while overinflated tires can reduce grip and comfort. While checking pressure, inspect the tire surfaces. Look for cuts, bulges, cracks, or objects like nails stuck in the tread. Uneven wear often means your alignment or suspension needs attention. You can also use the penny test to check tread depth. Insert a penny into the tread groove with Lincoln's head facing down. If you can see the top of his head, your tires are worn below the legal limit and should be replaced. Well-maintained tires not only improve fuel efficiency, but also keep your diesel stable when towing or carrying heavy loads. Once your tires are checked and safe, it's time to look for problems that most people only notice after it's too late: leaks and unusual signs under the hood. Finally, we have check number 7. Inspect for leaks and unusual conditions. This step only takes a few minutes, but it's the one that can save you from the most expensive breakdowns. Leaks, odd noises, or strange smells are your diesel's early warning system, and catching them early can prevent major damage. Start by looking under your vehicle after it's been parked for a while. If you see dark, oily spots, that's likely engine oil. If the fluid is orange or green, it's probably coolant. If it smells like fuel, it could be a diesel leak, and that needs quick attention. Brake fluid is usually clear to amber and feels slick. Even a small drip here can mean a failing line or seal. Now start the engine and take a moment to observe and listen. Check your exhaust smoke. Light gray or white smoke at startup is normal, but if it continues, it may mean coolant is leaking into the cylinders. Black smoke means too much fuel or not enough air, possibly a dirty air filter or injector issue. Blue smoke indicates oil burning, which can point to worn seals or rings. Listen for unusual sounds: knocking, rattling, hissing, or squealing. These noises are your first clue that something's not right. Finally, watch your dashboard warning lights. If any are on, don't ignore them. A simple warning today can prevent an expensive failure tomorrow. Once you finish these checks, you've completed the full monthly diesel maintenance routine. It includes checking and topping off fluids, inspecting belts and hoses, cleaning or replacing the air filter, checking the battery and draining water from the separator, checking tire pressure and tread, looking for leaks, smoke, or unusual sounds. This whole routine takes less than 30 minutes, but it can prevent 80% of major diesel problems. Regular monthly checks keep your cooling system healthy, your turbo lasting longer, and your engine running strong past 1 million miles. You're not just maintaining a vehicle, you're protecting a major investment worth tens of thousands of dollars. Remember, diesel engines are built to last forever, but only if you give them regular care. If this guide helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with other diesel owners who want to keep their engines alive for the long haul.